The university continues the celebration of Women's History Month with events on campus. More details to come. Find out when you can get the vaccine for COVID-19 after President Biden and Governor Abbott announced new dates for all adults to have access to it. And in sports, the Spurs continue their homestand and the Temusa softball Jaguars play against the defending champions. Find out how they did. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Enlace. We're here in the game room and today I am your host Katelyn Silva and we will be bringing you the latest in campus and community news. During National Women's History Month, Texas A&M University-San Antonio is hosting events on campus and online to empower women. On March 23rd, in the CAP Courtyard, Student Involvement hosted an event called Paint Your Shero, where students were provided a canvas and watercolors to paint a woman they look up to or anything they'd like.
I sort of drew a box with a girl in it and like all these colors out here, and the box with the girl inside sort of signifies the constraints that society puts on women and girls of all ages. And out here is just sort of everything else that we could be.
This is just one of the various events happening this week, and the effect of these activities continue to encourage people to participate and learn anything they can about how to help or just to be aware of the month and what it's about. In celebration of Women's History Month, the university hosted a Chalk the Walk event on March 18th in the CAP Courtyard. Students were able to write messages thanking the women who have inspired them throughout their lives and who continue to be an inspiration. The colorful messages showcased along the CAB Courtyard were also encouraging quotes and messages honoring the women in student organizations around campus. The university dance team stopped by and wrote messages of their own while also taking some photos showing their Jaguar spirit. Students, faculty, and staff had a chance to experience a relaxing spa day in the cafeteria on March 24th. The event was hosted by the Campus Activities Board along with student involvement and one other organization to bring 10-minute massages and self-care goodie bags. One station at this event was a DIY essential oil rice bag where students could pick out their own scent, which included eucalyptus, sweet rain, rosemary, and more. The event was in celebration of Women Empowerment Week, which kicked off on March 22nd.
Essentially just a way for students to relax and come spend another day here celebrating Women's Empowerment Week, and we're just here making sure that all students know that no matter what gender they are, no matter what issues they identify, we're all here just to celebrate who we are and who they are.
To keep up with the latest information on events going on around campus, sign into JagSync and always check your student email. After the break, an update on local elections. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Following the local elections, 3 of the 14 candidates running for mayor have agreed to have an open forum, which is set to take place the week of April 12th. Mayor Ron Nierenberg and challengers Greg Brockhouse and Denise Gutierrez-Homer will attend the Mayor Forum, which will be aired on TV as well as streamed online. All city council members of San Antonio are up for election this year. Early voting for the May 1st election is April 19th. President Biden announced that the next phase of his American Rescue Plan for COVID is making every adult in the U.S. eligible for the vaccine no later than May 1st. Governor Abbott has also announced that starting Monday, March 29th, Texas will open the COVID-19 vaccine to all adults. Places that give out the vaccine, such as community health centers, pharmacies, and community vaccination sites, will double in numbers in participating giving out shots to adults. A local nonprofit organization saw the need to serve the inner city youth. Armando Villarreal tells us more about a tennis program within the community.
Really nice. Excellent job. Okay, go retrieve 2 balls.
The San Antonio Learning Through Tennis Incorporated, also known as SALT, is offering a free after-school tennis program that is year-round. Patrick Hernandez, the vice president at SALT for Diversity and Inclusion, says the program began in 2020 and has grown since then.
SALT started back in June of last year during the pandemic. We started out with about a handful, a dozen of kids, and it has grown tremendously. We are over 20 kids in the SALT programs.
The youth program is open to anyone 5 and up, offers their classes in the east side of San Antonio, and operates with the support of volunteers.
All our volunteers, they're volunteers. No one here takes a salary, so it really goes back into the program. Everything we do from grant raising to private sponsorship and donorship, that's how our program is run. It goes right back into the program. So I think that's something different than most nonprofits.
The nonprofit organization promotes empowerment and healthy lifestyles through education, mentoring, and the game of tennis.
A lot of the children down here don't have these kind of opportunities to engage in a sport activity, teamwork, discipline, showing up on time, taking care of your equipment, taking care of your rackets. I mean, a lot of those are life skills that many people don't have. So this gives them a great opportunity to be able to engage in that in a fun and exciting atmosphere.
Jonathan Mason, the Legal Community Service Chair of SALT, says the program doesn't just offer tennis, it also offers life skills, social, and emotional learning.
It's also a confidence booster, right? The kids can kind of see themselves getting better each day, and especially with the staff that's here, the support and the boost that they give them, you really see a change in the kids' just demeanor and the way they just approach life.
The after-school program runs for 90 minutes from 4:30 to 6 p.m. on Tuesdays and Fridays at Fairchild Park on East Crockett Street. Those looking to learn more about the program can visit www.saltt.online. I'm Armando Villarreal, Enlace.
During the pandemic, many restaurant owners have taken it upon themselves to get their own food to their customer. Derek Dixon tells us more.
The coronavirus pandemic has made it hard for people to take a seat at their favorite eateries. Restaurants are barely starting to let patrons eat on the inside.
And if you can't eat because there are no seats, well then, just how are restaurants delivering their delicious treats? Ooh.
The concept of delivering food is a practice as old as restaurants themselves. Companies like Grubhub and Uber Eats have sprung up in recent years and are becoming a restaurant's go-to for post-pandemic business.
With the Uber, Grubhub, and DoorDash, because everything was shut down, they kept it alive. But because of the corona and all the pandemics, everything that's going on, it kept us floating.
It opened up a little different market for us. It's how Uber Eats helped us do part of it, because a lot of people will order Uber Eats, but they won't order certain places for their delivery service, so they didn't know that a lot of smaller shops didn't have their own delivery service.
But with companies like Uber Eats taking upwards of 30% of an order's revenue in delivery fees, some companies have took it upon themselves to deliver with their own staff to keep their employees' pockets nice and full during this time of uncertainty.
It makes more money for my employees, and that's the main reason we went that way. Because they get paid on commission basis, and when Uber Eats calls, they send us in on a tablet. We take the order through our machine. They send us the money the very next day, but that just helps my guys make more money to keep them elevate their wages.
Whether partnering up with a company or going solo, it seems that restaurants have found a stable way to keep hungry people with full bellies from the safety of their own home. This is Derek Dixon Jr. coming at you from Jaguar Student Media, answering the question of what exactly is the big deal? Enlace.
And when we come back, Marshall Best tells us the latest in sports.
Welcome to Jaguar Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Best, and thank you for staying with us. Y'all, let's jump right into the San Antonio Spurs. So the Spurs continue their 9-game homestand at the AT&T Center. Popovich's team was coming off a loss against the Charlotte Hornets and were hoping to get back on track against Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. However, it was exactly Leonard who took it upon himself to spoil the Spurs' night, scoring 25 points and 5 steals that led the Clippers to a 134-101 victory. a costly loss for the Silver and Black men that dropped to 8th place in the Western Conference with a 22-19 record. Moving on to softball, the A&M San Antonio Jaguars went on the road to play a doubleheader against the Bulldogs of Texas Lutheran University on March 23rd. The Jaguars had a tough task at hand playing the Bulldogs, who are the NCAA Division III champions. Well, unfortunately, the Jaguars didn't have a good outing and lost both games with scores of 8-0 and 6-0. The Jaguars will come back to the playing field on March 29th for their home debut against the Mustangs of Southwest University. Let's go Jaguars! And before I leave, the Mud Drags of San Antonio opened their 2021 season this weekend, and there was plenty of mud-filled action, as you can see. The track is located in southern Bexar County off of 1604 and I-37. If you missed it, don't worry, because there is more to come. The next race will be April 17th, and for more information, you can go to Mud Drags of San Antonio's Facebook page. That's all we have for you for this week of Jaguar Sports. But coming up after the break, a new episode of Have You Seen This Yet? Stay tuned.
And before we leave, Terisita Perez brings us a new episode of Have You Seen This Yet?
Hello, I'm Santa Perez and welcome back to Have You Seen This Yet? Enlace's take on the world of entertainment. This segment will always make the effort to stay up to date on the latest movies and shows, so always be prepared for spoilers. This week, we'll be giving a brief review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. This director's cut of the 2017 film became available to stream on March 18th and has so far been depicted as a good improvement over the original. Viewers may be put off at first by the 4-hour runtime and past reviews, but deciding to give in and watch might just be the best choice to make. There still might be moments that include excessive elements, such as the music, and tension that may at times feel forced into a scene. But it's all minimal when compared to what was great about this movie, like the improved development of certain characters and action-packed scenes that meshed well with the eeriness felt almost throughout. And actors like Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa prove once more that they are more than capable of keeping audiences entertained and invested in their storylines. So, with the changes seen in Snyder's interpretation working for the better, can this also mean more good things for this normally divisive franchise? Zack Snyder's Justice League is available to watch on HBO Max. This has been Santa Perez with Have You Seen This Yet?
Thank you for staying with us. That's all we have for you today. Make sure you tune in on the next episode of Enlace. Remember to always wear your mask and stay safe.